Merry Christmas. This is Coach Kyle Harris with EFX Sports. And with Christmas right around the corner, I wanted to do a video that I probably should have done prior to Thanksgiving, but I wanted to talk about holiday eating and weight gain / weight loss and some strategies of things that you could do or what you shouldn't do if your goals are to either maintain your weight or lose weight. So the first thing I want to address is the person that has been pretty good on their diet, whether they're trying to maintain their weight or lose weight, but they have been on point for weeks or months at a time, that are struggling with what to do when the holidays get around. So let's say that this person, they're training, their nutrition's on point, they're heading in the right direction. We're not talking about somebody that's going to do a contest prep. We're talking about somebody that's just, your average everyday Joe, or even a competitor that is, weeks and weeks out, because pretty much the competitive season is over. I don't really know of any shows that are in December or January. If you have a show late January, you're going to be good around Christmas anyway. So my suggestion is just, go to the meal and eat. One day of eating even 2,000 calories more than you're used to is not going to ruin anything. Don't be so anal. Don't kill yourself. Don't bring Tupperware unless it's food that you do not like eating. And by all means, if that's the case, and you want to enjoy some food there, then bring your own. A great thing you can do is if you're having a family gathering and you don't know exactly what people put in their food and you're a little concerned about calories, is to just make a dish yourself and take it. Something that isn't made with too much butter or too much fat or too much sugar, something that you might enjoy, something that other people might enjoy. But the biggest thing is don't stress about it. One day, one meal, it's not going to kill you. Okay? If you're eating 2,000 calories, if you're eating 1,500 calories and you double that, not going to kill you if it's one day. Okay? The problem is when you go to a Christmas party and you eat 2,000 extra calories that day, and then you let that slip over into the next day. That's where the issues come from. People are so bogged down by, I can't cheat, I can't do this, I can't eat that. Not a big deal. If you're on point, if you're doing what you're supposed to do most of the time, one day, one meal, one day isn't going to kill you. It's when you let that seep over. Which brings me to another point. All right, I hear people all the time say this, and it drives me nuts, drives me crazy. It's only one day, it's only one meal, eat whatever you want. That's fine if it's actually only one day or one meal. But how many times does that happen? So now we're talking about the opposite end. We're talking about people that let themselves slip up, and then we let that slip over into not just one meal, two meals, one day, but into 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. So I'm going to backtrack to Thanksgiving. So we've got a situation where you're at Thanksgiving, you eat whatever you want, that's great. If you're on point, phenomenal. Excellent. Enjoy that. Don't stress about it. Enjoy your family. Enjoy the food. Like I said, it's not going to hurt you. What does hurt you, though, is when you eat that giant Thanksgiving meal on Thanksgiving Day, and then you overeat leftovers the next day. And then on Saturday, you smash half of a pie. And then Sunday, you eat more. And then you say to yourself, Christmas is right around the corner. Whatever, I'll just start in the new year. So you don't track your eating anymore. You don't watch what you're eating. You just continue to eat. Then Christmas gets here. You have 1, 2, 3 Christmas parties where you go overboard. And then you're like, I'll worry about it comes New Year's. Now you've literally taken a month and a half of your life and you've gorged yourself, you've overeaten, and now that is where that holiday weight comes from. So you can't just go willy-nilly and just say, it's only going to be one day. There's always one day to overeat. There's Friday, there's Thanksgiving, there's Christmas, there's New Year's, there's birthday parties, there's your kids' birthday parties, there's your spouse's birthday parties, your brothers, your sisters, your grandmas, your grandpas, your aunts and uncles, all these birthday parties. There's family reunions, there's potlucks at work, there's this gathering, that gathering, 4th of July. There are so many excuses to overeat. So don't be the person that says, it's only going to be one day, unless you're being meticulous about what you're eating and watching throughout the rest of the year. If that's the case, then go ahead, eat what you want on that day. Just the one caveat that I have, don't eat yourself sick. That's not healthy in any stretch of the imagination. You don't want to make yourself completely miserable. So eat, enjoy, do that. Now, if you're really concerned about it and you want to make sure that you're not going to put on any extra weight, there are some strategies that you can have. One of the things that I recommend people to do is a week or so, 5 days before or so, you're going to have some kind of a holiday gathering or a function where you may overeat, just cut some carbs out. Eat your normal amount of protein, whatever that is. Maybe drop your fat down a little bit, but only eat carbs before and after your workout. So for example, for me, we'll just use myself for an example. Right now I'm eating about 240 grams of protein per day and probably about 350 grams of carbs. All right, my fat's anywhere between 60 and 80 per day depending. I'm not being super careful with that. There's days I have some more. But what I would do if I was really worried about gaining or maintaining my weight is 5 or 6 days prior to Christmas Day when I'm gonna have a big meal, what I might do is I might drop my carbs back. I might slash them in half. Maybe I'll only get 150 carbs, maybe only even 100. But I'm gonna eat though most of those around my workout. So 50 to 75 grams of carbs pre-workout, another 50 to 75 post-workout. The rest of my meals throughout the day, I'm gonna eat proteins, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, and some fat. So maybe some egg whites and 2 or 3 whole eggs in the morning with some green beans. And then for lunch, maybe I'll have chicken breast and some asparagus with some almonds. And then pre-workout, I'll have maybe some chicken breast and some rice. Post-workout, maybe a whey protein shake and some Carbolin with maybe 100 to 200 grams of sweet potato. And then my last meal, maybe some lean beef, again with some almonds or some almond butter and some kind of vegetable. Doing that for 4, 5, 6, 7 days prior to your meal is going to let you burn through a lot of that glycogen you have stored up, which is going to set your body up into a position where you can actually store the extra food that you're eating on that day, less as fat and more as glycogen. Another thing you can do the day before, the day of, and the day after, or the day before and the day of, is get yourself a nice little workout, total body weight training workout with some HIIT cardio where you're doing some high reps. And I'm talking 20 to 30 reps. So maybe choose 1 or 2 exercises per body part and do 3 to 4 sets of those and work 20 to 30 reps. Just really burn it out, really get into that stage where you're using a lot of muscle glycogen for fuel, burn through that muscle glycogen, and then the day of your meal, do the same thing. And then maybe after you're training on those days, do some HIIT cardio. Get on the upright bike, crank up the resistance, pedal as hard as you can for 10, 15, 20 seconds, reduce it, pedal for 40 to 60 seconds, and repeat. Do that 4 or 5 times, or you could do some battle ropes like that, 20 to 30 seconds all out with the battle ropes, and then rest for 30 to 40 seconds. Or maybe do some med ball slams for 10 to 20 seconds and then rest, and do maybe 4, 5, 6 sets of that. And if you're really worried, then jump on a treadmill or a bike and do some steady state for another 20, 30 minutes. I promise you, if you cut those carbs back by 50, 75%, or even cut them in half, what you're going to find is that, and then you train like that, what you're going to find is you're going to burn through a lot of glycogen. And on that next day when you do, or that day that you do have that big meal with family or friends, you're going to store a lot less as fat and you're going to store a lot as glycogen. And then if you take that next day and train, you're going to have a great training session, I promise. You're going to have a ton of glycogen buildup. You're going to go into the gym, you're going to hit it, you're going to get a nasty workout in. So the bottom line is, really enjoy the holidays. Don't be the guy that takes a gallon jug of water with you to your in-laws or your family. Don't be taking Tupperware and eating out of that unless you're prepping and you got a contest in 2 weeks. Then maybe you need to do that. But enjoy them. Don't stress about it. But here's the caveat: don't eat yourself sick, and do not let it spill over into day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. That's when you get that massive fat gain. That's when you get those holiday pounds. So be smart. Use your brain. If you need some help, you can hit me up at HossJob on Instagram or Twitter. Make sure you follow EFX Sports at EFX Sports on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you go into the iTunes store and downloading the EFX Sports Show for free. Great information for free. And most importantly, God bless all you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing Christmas. And hopefully I do a little New Year's video for you guys as well. Thank you.